76ers before getting a win over the Wizards yesterday. Meanwhile, Shannon, the Celtics, they lost 2 straight over the weekend, first to the Nets, then to the Knicks. That one last night in double OT. All right, Shannon, now, who's the best team in the East?
Bucks, Celtics, Sixers. I still believe the Bucks are the best team, Skip. We're going back and forth, and I still believe it's going to come down to a 7-game series between the Bucks and the Celtics. And, Skip, the Celtics, they need this home court because last year it served them well. Remember, I think they had Game 7 in their building.
Yep.
Because they went and stole Game 6 in Milwaukee when Milwaukee could have ended it, come back home for Game 7, and we know what happened. They ended up going on and they won the NBA, went to the NBA Finals, ended up losing to Golden State in 6.
Yep.
But I still believe, Skip, in the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I don't believe the NBA, you got to take that triple-double back from Giannis. Skip, you can't do that. Because I remember when Bobby Serra did that, Bobby Serra was notorious for doing that. I think he was with Cleveland at the time, throwing the ball off the backboard and rebounding his own miss. That's not the spirit. That's not what a triple-double should be. So that was saying Giannis still played unbelievable this weekend, although he split 1-1, lost to the Sixers, ended up winning last night. But I still believe it's the Bucks, the Celtics, and the Sixers. Skip, over the weekend, James Harden, remember that, I'm still James Harden.
Yep.
I still can do this. I'm just relying on Joel Embiid. Hold on. Did y'all forget I'm a top 75 player too? That I'm an MVP?
Yep.
And he was sensational. Skip, I haven't seen James Harden play that well in a very, very long time. He made big shot after big shot, big three, big floater, and ones. He was sensational. And he was the main reason. And I'm not trying to discredit Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. He was sensational. But down the stretch, James Harden was a monster. That was the Houston James Harden. And then he made the pass, and Joel Embiid pumped and hits the big three.
He did.
But I'm still going. I'm going Bucks 1, Celtics 2, Sixers 3.
I'm going to start with your second overall choice. I haven't been sold on Boston all year. I love Jayson Tatum, but I think I love him more off the court than on the court. Because, Shannon, what is going on with this team at home, speaking of a home court advantage that you just did?
Yeah.
If I go back a week ago, last week on Wednesday, they played Cleveland at home. They led by 21 in the third quarter, and then by 20 with 11:37 left, and by 19 with 7:16 left in the game against Donovan Mitchell and company. They barely clung to a game that they finally scratched and clawed and won by 4. So they blew a 21-point lead, and it got down to 4. Then Brooklyn Friday night, this is just...
That's unacceptable.
Shameful. It's unacceptable. You can't do this. You're up 28 at home, and you wind up losing by 10 to obviously a team that no longer has Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving or James Harden. It's just unconscionable. And then the Knicks, I watched the whole thing last night because I couldn't take my eyes off it because they led by 14 in the third quarter, and then here came the Knicks without Jalen Brunson. There's no Jalen Brunson. You're kidding. You can't beat them. You can't hold them off. And Jalen Brunson's in street clothes. It's Emmanuel Quickly. What are you doing? How could you do that? So they gave their young head coach a new extension. God bless him. I'm still an Ime fan. I can't defend what he did, but I still believe in him, certainly as a defensive teacher and coach. And I'm not seeing that same mindset from Boston this year. And I told you from the start, I didn't think that I would. Those young stars are stars, but last night, if you're Jayson Tatum and you are the man on that team, you can't go 6 of 17 from 3. You just can't. And he has too many games like that.
Yeah. Skip, he was 12 or 30. He was 12 or 30. Skip, this is look, you can't let R.J. Barrett get 29.
No.
Julius Randle get 31.
No.
Emmanuel Quickly, as you mentioned, get 38. I mean, hold on. I thought Marcus Smart and Jalen Brown, y'all got to stop some of this. You let them shoot 50%.
What?
and I understand, Skip, it was double overtime, but those guys got confidence early, and they feel they were like quickly like, I can do what I want. I can get to the rack whenever I want. I can get up to the mid range. I can shoot the three. I can do whatever tonight. You know what? I think I'm gonna have a career night against you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Skip, you can't keep getting out to these big leads.
No.
I mean, as you mentioned, 28-point lead to a team that no longer has Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and then you lose by 10. That's a 38-point swing. Come on your home court.
On your home court?
And,
I was
and then you do it again. You do it again last night. I don't look. You're right. They're not playing any defense, and everybody just wants to play all offense. Hey, JT, I know you had 50-plus points in the All-Star game.
You did.
But in a real NBA game, y'all got to play some defense.
Got to.
That ain't how, everybody laying the ball up and shooting threes uncontested. That'll get you beat in an NBA game, in an actual NBA game where they count. That'll get you beat the way you guys are playing. Y'all better start locking in. Now, Skip, Grant, the Williams kid, he's out with a knee injury.
Yeah.
Because he's the inside presence.
He is.
But that was abominable last night. And they've had some losses like this where you like, damn, what's going on with Boston? You mentioned losing to Orlando. You're like, come on now.
Twice.
Orlando's an NBA team, but
that's twice at home.
You can't lose to them.
Twice at home in Boston. Woo.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. So there are some things that's cause for concern, but I think they can get it fixed. But I'm going with the Bucks. I still believe the Bucks. And I thought because they had the best player, I thought it was going to come down to the Bucks and Celtics. I still do. But if you make me pick right now, I'm going to say because the Game 7, if there needs to be one, would be in Milwaukee, I would take the Bucks.
Okay. I'm still bullish on the Sixers. I've told you that from day one. I picked them to win the East. I'm sticking with it. I watched them hang in, fall behind, and roar back at Milwaukee the other night. And I watched them, thanks in large part to James Harden, score 48 points in the fourth quarter on the road at Milwaukee against the team that most people believe is the best defensive team in basketball. 48 points, and to your point, James Harden turned back into all caps James Harden. I got that. He scored 19. Embiid played big, but so did Giannis. And if you want to look at the stats, they're pretty close, but again, Joel Embiid had 10 assists in that game, as did James Harden. So the point is, they did pull that off. They won at Milwaukee. And then to your point about yesterday at Washington, I lost a little bit of respect for a player I've gained a lot of respect for in Giannis because it was so beneath he's not Bobby Sura, he's Giannis. Yeah. You know, he's right. MVP Giannis. And you're going to flip the ball up off the board, and he was sheepish about it after the game. He said, yeah, I stole one there. Well, that's way beneath your dignity.
Yeah, but we hear Giannis talk about you don't concern himself with stats. We just won the game. Well, clearly you wanted that stat of a triple-double.
He knew.
I don't. The NBA, y'all got to do something about this. You should not let a guy intentionally, Skip, I understand sometimes a guy missed a shot.
Yeah.
But he intentionally threw the ball against the backboard with no hopes of making the shot just to get the rebound to say I got a triple-double. Nah, the NBA, y'all should rescind that. Say, no, we're not going to have that.
Yep.
That's not going to happen. And I agree with you, Skip Bayless. That should be beneath. Skip, I get if you're a fringe player and you know what? I'm only going to play a couple of years in the league. I don't have that kind of talent. And you want to get a triple-double like Skip, and I don't like it because it's cheap, but I get that. Skip, Giannis is a two-time league MVP.
He is.
Giannis is a finals MVP.
He's a finals MVP.
Man, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Kobe or LeBron or Magic Johnson would have done some bull job like that, or Steph Curry?
No.
Come on, Giannis. You got to look at yourself as one of these Pantheon greats. And some things that you've seen other fringe players do should be beneath you.
Okay. So I'm taking nothing away from your man Joker in Denver because he just keeps supreming it at the highest level. And I don't doubt that he's going to be the MVP because of it's like almost a new great narrative of why can't he win 3 in a row? But all I know for sure is that I watched Joel Embiid destroy him, albeit in Philadelphia about 6 weeks ago. And I watched Joel and James go to Milwaukee and win. So I'm going to cling to those Sixers. I know Doc's on something of a hot seat there because people are starting to doubt Doc. But that team is deep and it's strong and it's tough with P.J. Tucker as their new defensive stopper. And I just like everything I see. They don't play at the highest level every single night, but I'm going to put them at 1 and Milwaukee at 2 and Boston falling to 3. And it's really a 3-team conference because I still don't regard Cleveland as in that class or category.
Nah.
But those 3, it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be just as fun to watch to me, however it plays out. Those 3 fighting it out for that title on that side as opposed to what's happening over in the West.
You're right, Skip, but I tell you what, those guards that Cleveland got, they can go get you 80 between the 2 of them. They can light you up. I tell you what, it's not, man, I sure hope we get Cleveland in the first round. Ain't nobody, Milwaukee, Boston, or Sixers, they're not like, oh, man, if we get Cleveland, we got a cakewalk. Ain't nobody really trying to see, though, because we know Donovan Mitchell, Skip. We've seen him go get 71.
We have.
We've seen him get 57. We've seen him have these outbursts. Darius Garland, he's an all-star. We've seen him go get huge numbers. They can protect the paint with Allen and Mobley. They can be a problem. They're just young and got to figure out how to win, as opposed to some of these other veteran-laden ball clubs that's been there and done that. But it's not going to be an easy out if you face the Cavaliers. But, Skip, I just think the Bucks, once they get Middleton up and going, and he's got about 20 games to get it to, he played 27 minutes.
He did.
He was 2 of 8. You could tell. He doesn't have his rhythm. He doesn't have his timing.
Yeah.
But I love the way Holiday's playing. I love what True Holiday's doing. And so I think they're going to be there when it's all said and done. And then you got Brooke Lopez had a showing, 10 of 16. Grayson Allen. I'm surprised that Philly won this game when they got 3 points from Tobias Harris, who only played 13 minutes, got injured, and P.J. Tucker played 20 minutes and gave 2 points.
Okay.
So 5 points between your starters, and then you got this avalanche of the Milwaukee Bucks starters, and they still lost the game. They lost their focus, Skip. You can't give up 41 points. That team with Giannis, a Defensive Player of the Year, Holiday, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Brooke Lopez, one of the premier defenders in all of basketball because he protects the paint. He's a top shot blocker. Give up 48 in the fourth? Can't happen.
Last quick point. Speaking of Darius Garland, who happened to play basketball at Vanderbilt University, allow me to quickly congratulate my Vanderbilt Commodores for winning 8 of their last 9 SEC games, and they sure look like an NCAA tournament team to me. Way to go, guys.
Stackhouse got him playing, Skip.
He's got him playing.
Stackhouse is the head coach.
Jerry Stackhouse can coach.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. The tournament will be fun. Almost time to start dancing. All right, guys, it is time for us to move on to the NFL. Are the quarterback rankings getting a makeover after